Just united front was determined this morning that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just we had a very
that really needed to be mentioned.
No matter how much you extend a hand, some will still pull away, or worse, push back. That's exactly what Kelsey Plum's comment revealed. Caitlin Clark has brought unprecedented attention, funding, and momentum to the WNBA. She's advocated for higher pay, equal recognition, and uplifted players across the board, including those who now seem to resent her. Yet instead of appreciation, she's met with sideways shots and public shade. At the All-Star postgame press conference, Kelsey Plum's true feelings seemed to slip through. It didn't feel like a casual comment. It felt pointed, like there was something deeper behind it. Call it jealousy, call it resentment, but the energy was hard to miss. It was less about a missed meeting and more about taking a subtle shot at Caitlin Clark, right when the spotlight was supposed to be on Unity. Clark wasn't even there, sidelined due to injury, and yet, somehow, her name still got dragged into the spotlight. Plum pointed out that 0 members of Team Clark attended the pre-game meeting about the protest shirts. Why mention that? Why turn a moment of unity into a call-out session? It rubbed people the wrong way because it felt like more than just a statement. It felt like jealousy disguised as activism. And that's what's got people fired up. Caitlin Clark has been doing more than just putting up numbers. She's been showing up, speaking out, and putting her name and platform behind real issues, including better pay for all WNBA players, especially Black women. She's not some performative figure using the league as a stepping stone. She's in it. She's trying to uplift it. And yet, time after time, she's the one being singled out, dismissed, or openly disrespected. Let's be real. There's a part of the WNBA audience that's starting to feel like Caitlin shouldn't even bother. Why keep fighting for people who clearly don't want you around? Why keep lending your voice to players who throw shade the minute your back is turned? The message Kelsey Plum sent, intentionally or not, was loud and clear. No matter how much you contribute, you're still not one of us. This wasn't just about shirts. It was about power, about recognition, about who gets to lead and who gets to speak. And maybe some of Clark's peers aren't comfortable with how quickly she's become the face of the league. But here's the thing. She didn't crown herself. The numbers did. The fans did. The media did. Sponsors did. That's not her fault. And yet, the resentment is undeniable. You can see it in the comments. You can feel it in the awkward silence when her name comes up. You could see it all over Sabrina Ionescu's face during that very press conference. When Plum made that remark, Sabrina looked uncomfortable, like she knew it was a bad move, but didn't want to start something on camera. That says a lot. Imagine if this happened in the NFL. Picture Josh Allen throwing Mahomes under the bus during a Pro Bowl presser for not joining in on a player-led movement. It wouldn't just be awkward, it would be considered locker room sabotage. It would spark headlines for weeks. The idea of publicly calling out your teammate, your peer in front of the world, that's a betrayal of the brotherhood. And the WNBA, trying to push for more unity and growth, should be careful not to fall into that trap. Because here's the hard truth. Caitlin Clark is the reason the lights are brighter. She's why tickets sell, why ratings spike, why new sponsors are knocking on the WNBA's door. The All-Star Game itself saw ticket prices drop by 50% the moment it was announced that Clark wouldn't play. That's not hate, that's reality. And yet she's the one being called out? That's wild. Clark joined the protest effort when it mattered. She wore the shirt. She stood in solidarity. But now it's starting to feel like whatever she does will never be enough for some of her peers. No matter how much she tries to fit in or help out, it keeps getting thrown back in her face. So maybe it's time she stops trying. Maybe Clark needs to stop bending over backward for a league that doesn't fully accept her. Stop offering herself as a bridge if they keep setting fire to it. Let them figure it out without her. Let them fight for pay raises and bigger audiences without the numbers she brings. Because clearly, appreciation isn't part of the deal. She's not asking to be worshipped, but a little respect would go a long way. Instead, she gets side eyes, cold shoulders, and slick comments in pressers. For what? For showing up and putting the WNBA on the map in a way no player has done in years? This isn't about one comment, it's about a culture, a pattern, one where Clark is constantly expected to prove she belongs, even as she's holding the door open for everyone else. It's exhausting and it's unfair. If the WNBA truly wants to grow, it has to get past this. Internal division isn't strength, it's sabotage. Unity has to be more than a t-shirt slogan. It has to show up in how players treat each other when the cameras are rolling. Because right now, Caitlin Clark's silence says more than any press conference ever could. And maybe, just maybe, she's done helping people who never wanted her help in the first place.